Hey everybody, Rich down here in the bunker with PrepU. Hey, as the title of this video says, this is a video about the changes coming to Illinois FOIDs and CCL card and some of the dates. Now, in the newspapers, I'm going to talk about some of the articles. Basically just talks about January 1st, 2022, but I'm going to throw some other dates at you and some other interesting stuff. We had talked about, remember when I first put out a video about the modernization of the FOID and CCL. Basically, this is a offshoot, or this is a continuation now that it's a law, obviously, since it's some of it's coming active on the first of the year. I had said that I was going to read the whole law. Well, let me show you. Here it is. Here's the whole thing. And maybe someday I will. I don't know. It'd probably take an hour. Not to read the whole thing, but go over it. There's a lot of stuff in there that's, I mean, if you want a good bedtime story, go and call up the law. You can find it on the web or on the Illinois government website. But it goes into a lot of different things. If you ever read a law, it basically talks about, economic impact and all this other kind of stuff. But in this law, it also talks about hunting and trailing your dogs, and when you can carry a firearm, if you're hunting, if you're not hunting, what you're hunting. It talks about turkey permits and all that kind of stuff. So we may talk about that later, but this video is just about dates and things that are coming. So let's take a look at some of the papers. I've printed 3 different ones. This is the Effingham News. I also have the Illinois Advancing the Rights to Carry Bulletin, and then I've got one from WANDTV.com. ISP announces changes to FOIDs and the CCL Act. We're going to read this one because it printed better than the other one. So, what's coming on January 1st, 2020? As it states, the Illinois State Police Firearms Service Bureau, which I do have right here on my computer, which we're going to take a look at some of that stuff, some FOID numbers and CCL numbers that you might be interested in, is announcing several changes being made to the Firearm Owner Identification Card Program. ISP FSB is making these adjustments based on statutory changes to the FOID Act effective January 2022. All right, new cards. As FOID cards are replaced, new cards will be printed without expiration dates. Whenever a new FOID card is issued, if the card holder has a concealed carry license, the card holder will be issued a combined FOID and CCL card. So there won't be any dates on it, and those of us that have CCLs will get a combined card now, which makes a lot of sense. Get rid of the duplicity, right? And the date. All right. When a FOID card is suspended and the card holder has a CCL, the CCL will be suspended until the FOID card is reinstated. Upon reinstatement of the FOID card, if eligible, the CCL will be reinstated as well. Okay, so I'm assuming basically if you have a combined card and your FOID is void, the card is void. Actually that's what it says. When a CCL is suspended or revoked, but a person is still eligible to possess a FOID card, they will retain the issued combined card, but will not show a valid CCL in the Law Enforcement Automated Data System, or LEADS. So there you go. So your FOID card will still be good, but if you're pulled over, they're probably going to ask you, since it's probably going to say on there that your CCL is suspended, they're going to say, are you carrying? And they're going to, and check you and all that kind of stuff. So if that happens to you, don't carry. All right, lock it in the trunk. All right, just do that. All right, auto renewal. This makes why they talk about no dates on it. When a FOID card expires during the term of a CCL, the FOID card will be automatically renewed without paying a renewal fee, and the licensee will be sent a new combined FOID card and CCL. The combined cards will not have an issuance or expiration date printed on the face of the card and will serve as both the cardholder's FOID and CCL. So that's kind of nice. You can get rid of one of your cards, which is really cool. I still have one of my original cards. It was typed. They actually typed it. So, 89. Boy, I look a lot younger. And the statement from the Illinois State Police is, the Illinois State Police Firearms Service Bureau is working diligently to ensure the statutory changes to the FOID card will benefit the people of Illinois. Even though the FOID card is technically unconstitutional, per the courts, not per me, said the ISP Director Brendan F. Kelly. We are pleased by the fact that this will decrease duplicity within the FOID and CCL program. I just said that. Which will in turn save time and money for both applicants and taxpayers, he concluded. So it sounds like if you have a CCL card, you won't be paying for your FOID card anymore, which is nice because the CCL card is very expensive. You're going to save $10 and you don't have to worry about, is this card is expired, that card's not expired, which we deal with all the time at the range. We'll get a FOID card that has an old expiration date and it doesn't match your driver's license. Remember, you've got to have those matching, okay? There used to be a little wiggle room there because of the pandemic and all that. I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm not on the floor. I'm in the range only. I'm not on the floor selling. I believe that was suspended, that now you have to make sure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed and your addresses are correct. But the other thing I wanted to do with this, again, here's the law. You see all the tabs on here? We're going to go to each one of these tabs, and we're going to read dates that are also in here real quick. All right. First date. All right. The department, all right, so this is within the law. The Illinois Department of State Police shall develop an internet-based system for individuals to determine the validity of firearm owner identification cards prior to the sale or transfer of a firearm. The department shall have an internet-based system available by use by January 1st, 2024. The Illinois State Police shall adopt rules not inconsistent with this system to implement their system, but no rule shall allow the Illinois State Police to retain records in contravention of federal and state law. So they have to have that internet system working. Well, they're implementing it now, and I think what that means is up, running, complete, and good to go to a satisfactory rate, according to the courts, on how long it takes for them to get their cards out. So here, on or before January 2022, the Illinois State Police shall develop an internet-based system upon which the serial numbers of firearms that have been reported stolen are available for public record for individuals to ensure any firearms are not reported stolen prior to the sale or transfer of that firearm. So that's why it's important, if your firearm is stolen, to report that said firearm. It's also important to keep all serial numbers, date you purchase, written down in your safe, kept. All right, so when it's stolen, you can give them the serial number. If it's stolen or lost, you need to give them that information ASAP. So when it goes out there, people don't, the store owners can then look up in this system to see if it's a stolen or lost firearm. The Illinois State Police shall have an internet-based system completed and available for use by July 1st, 2022. So it doesn't have to be the first of the year, but mid-2022, this system has to be up and running that stores can access and see if the firearm they're purchasing is stolen or not. All right, next date. By January 1st, 2023, the Illinois State Police shall, by rule, provide a process for the automatic renewal of firearm owner identification cards of the person at the time of inquiry. Okay, so I just recently got my notification that my FOID card is expiring in 120 days. Interesting side note, I got it on my school email and not my home email, which is kind of weird. But anyhow, I must have put it in wrong somehow, or they combined them or whatever. So I'm under the old system. So I guess I'm going to have to renew my FOID, which we're going to do a video on, which hopefully it will be, you won't need it by 2023. So persons eligible for this process must have a set of fingerprints on file with their application, either subsection A25 of Section 4 of the Firearm Concealed Carry Act. So if you have a concealed carry card, you're not going to need to put fingerprints in, which is kind of nice. If you want automatic renewal. If you don't want automatic renewal, then don't submit your fingerprints. All right. Beginning January 1st, 2023, I'm stuck here. Each applicant for the issuance of a FOID card may include a full set of his or her fingerprints in electronic format to the Illinois State Police unless the applicant has previously provided a full set of his or her fingerprints to the Illinois State Police under the Concealed Carry Act. I think I just said that. So that's 2023 if you want to be under the automatic system, automatic renewal system. All right, next date of interest. Electronic firearm owner identification cards beginning January 1st, 2022. They may develop a system. I think they're still working on it. As far as I know, I have not heard of any electronic FOID cards out yet. Matter of fact, when we read all the articles here about the new laws, it doesn't state anything about electronic cards yet. Electronic cards would be nice. So we'll just have to see how that goes, because then you can have it on your mobile phone card or your mobile phone. Beginning 2022. Again, it talks about the new cards, about the combined cards. All right, going deeper into the law. Hold on here. Okay. Whenever such a card is revoked or seized, as provided for in Section 8 of these, the aggrieved party may file a record challenge with the director regarding the record upon which the decision to deny or revoke the firearm owner identification card was based. Set appeal to the director of the Illinois State Police through December 31st, 2022, or beginning 2023. The FOID card will go before a review board for the hearing. All right, so there is a new review board that's coming out. So they have to create a firearm owner identification card review board to consider any appeal under subsection A beginning January 2023. So it's going to be a board, appointed board, a 7-member board. There's a federal or state judge, an attorney with the United States Justice Department. Who else is on this? 1 member, at least 5 years of experience serving as a state or federal public defender. 3 members with at least 5 years of experience with federal, state, or local law enforcement. 1 member, at least 5 years of experience, a licensed physician or clinical psychologist. So that's your board. They'll be appointed. I don't know how they're going to find these people, if they're going to ask for people to submit. So there is a board coming to better handle appeals. These appeals, every year, the board will meet quarterly. The board will meet quarterly. The board shall issue a determination within 45 days of the appeal. The board will determine that the applicant is eligible for relief. The board shall report monthly to the governor and General Assembly of the number of appeals received and provide details. So that's coming in 2023. That'll be kind of nice for those of you that lose your card for weird reasons, or you can't get a card. That's the other thing. You can submit an appeal for a card. So after we go through all this minutia, get all the way to the back end of the act, like we said, effective date, this act shall take effect on January 1st, 2022, except the mandatory or mandatory changes to the FOID card that take effect on 2024, and the subsequent stuff that takes place in the middle in 2023, which really isn't a FOID card thing or a CCL card thing. It's more of an administrative thing. So that's why I suggest you get this law, take a look at the law, especially if you need, if you're going to be doing an appeal or whatever, or you can't get a FOID card or whatever. Let's take a look at some numbers over here. All right, so this is the Illinois State Police website, and I suggest you go to it and go to the Fire Service Bureau section. All right, so it looks like this. It's got the machine that's doing the printing out the FOID and CCL cards. But what I want to focus on here, if you go all the way to the bottom, all right, there's a set of numbers here by date. It goes back to November of 2022 all the way to November of 2021. Obviously, December isn't in there because December isn't over. What this showed, new FOID application time, renewal average times, non-fingerprint CCL times, fingerprint CCL times, and processing hours, how long it takes to process it. Just a quick couple of numbers because I want you to go to this site. I want you to go to the ISP site, and I want you to go to Firearms Service Bureau. So back in November of 2022, the processing time for a new application for a FOID card was 121 days. If we go to May of 2021, 206 days for processing. November 2021, 97 days to process the card. And I know in December the time has come way down. All right. Non-fingerprint CCL, November 2020, 160 days. All the way down to, let's see, November 2021, 126 days. That's for non-fingerprint. All right. Fingerprint. For new CCL cards, fingerprint is with a fingerprint back a year ago was 130 days. This year, right now, it was at a high in June of 182 days. November 2021, the processing time is 110 days. Okay, so and then they've got a cool chart. Bought a laptop without touch control. Guess I'm too cheap. So anyhow, then they got renewed application status survey and or statistics. Go to that, check it out. It's pretty cool. You can see they're getting better. It's still way too long. And according to their own law, it's only supposed to be 4 weeks. So it's 28 days. They're still at almost 4 times that. So it is coming down. I know they have new machines in line taking care of this stuff. And actually, there's some people I've talked to at the range who are getting it in 4 weeks. So I'm going to assume that when December's printed, that time is going to come way down. So, in other words, it's getting better. I know what some of you are saying, but Rich, it's unconstitutional. The state courts say it's unconstitutional. Yeah, it's unconstitutional. The state says it's unconstitutional, but they need to put something else in place that's constitutional. That's how they sent it back. That's why we still have this, the FOID card. And CCL. Thank God we have CCL. I never thought it would come to the state of Illinois. But there you go, in a nutshell. I know this is a little long. It's almost 20 minutes, but it tells you about some of the dates that's happening with FOIDs and CCLs and what they're trying to do and the Modernization Act of it. I will do a full Fix the FOID video. That video will probably be a half hour or longer, just to show you, some of the stuff that's in it. So I don't know if this helps you. I don't know if it confuses you, but there are changes to the FOID and CCL in 2022. January 1st, 2022. July 31st, 2022. January 1st, 2023, and January 1st, 2024. There are changes all the way along. And if everything works out in the law, you aren't going to have a wait time because it's going to be electronic. You won't be paying for your FOID cards. You won't be renewing your FOID cards. You'll only be paying for your CCL, which I don't see any changes as far as the cost. All right, but if you just have a FOID card and you don't have the CCL, your card can be automatic renewed as long as you submit fingerprints, and they'll be good for 10 years still, and they'll still be, I think they're still $10. So that's it in a nutshell. So I'm going to let you go. As we always say when we end our videos, thank you, subscribers. Really appreciate you subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please do. Please pass this on to everybody you know that's a firearm enthusiast, whether they hunt or they just target shoot or they 3-gun or they just go to the range. Pass this along to them because it's kind of important. Also, always be aware of your surroundings no matter where you're at. Please have enough food on supply, 72 hours in case you have to evacuate or leave your home for whatever reason. Also have at least 3 to 6 months of food per person and water available if you have to shelter in place for whatever reason. And please prep like your life depends on it, because it really does. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year. Take care.